Alright, so we've done a lot of good work this morning. I've taken off the rear fender, the handlebars, the license plate, bracket and mounts, the grab bar, battery box, the two air boxes, the front foot pegs, some linkage and bits and bolts and all kinds of stuff. And the bike is definitely starting to look much more naked. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about the original toolbox. I think it's really cool, and it comes with this toolkit, which are pretty rare and hard to find. So I think, this is a good thing to keep with the bike, but I don't really like it here in this position because I really like a big open space is what I'm going for. So I might take it off and mount it somewhere else. Left to do so far is I have to clean up the frame. I'm going to take my Dremel to these little bits here, this lock bracket and these hooks and all this stuff here, and sort of clean up the frame and get it ready for the seat. Another thing I got to do is mount the pod filters. These are the pods, and they fit pretty well, but I got them a little bit oversized for one reason mainly, and that is that I'm not going to mount them just directly to the carburetors. One, there's a clearance issue here. I'd have to deform the pod, which isn't the biggest thing in the world. I mean, I just sort of jam it in there. But on these little bikes, they respond a lot better if you maintain this boot. What this boot does is it sort of evens out the turbulence caused by the pod filters. You can see these pods, when you compare them with the original air filter, they're much smaller, and air is coming in at all different angles and stuff, and it creates a super turbulent area right in here, which is not very efficient for the transference of gasoline and air. I mean, the Venturi is supposed to even that out, but it can only do so much, and so it's harder to jet them. You're not going to get optimal performance, blah blah blah, if you just jam this thing right onto your Venturi here. And so what I'm going to do is just sort of cut this off with a razor blade, and I guess maybe super glue or use some sort of an epoxy to attach the filter, the pod filter, right onto this boot, and then the boot goes onto the carb, and that way the boot will allow me to snake around this piece of the frame here, and I don't have to deform the pod, and hopefully it should help with jetting and the running of the engine. And so that's how it's going to look, which I think is pretty slick. Now I'm still making my mind up about what to do about the turn signals. Originally I was going to go with LEDs and just have these itty bitty little turn signals, maybe pop out of there or whatever. But I'm starting to think that maybe LEDs aren't the most appropriate turn signals that I can put on this bike. Just because I kind of think that, like, cafe racers are throwbacks, and having this new technology, this futuristic looking miniature tail light is it kind of stands out and might not really mesh with what I'm going for. I'm going to look around on eBay and stuff and see if I can maybe get some smaller versions of this, maybe from different bikes that still had this old style configuration, but if that fails I'll probably just put these back on. So this was a pretty cool thing I did this morning. I used the pre-existing bracket that held the tachometer and the speedometer and cut a couple small holes and slots in it, and just mounted the speedometer in the middle. So I got me this banging battery, small, lightweight, Holds a great charge, lots of power, plenty of power to turn over the starter motor. You can't beat the deal. I got it from this guy who just apparently goes all over the city and buys batteries, and this one came out of an alarm system, and I sold it to me for $10. Can't beat that for a motorcycle battery. So that's going to be put in this little tray right there. I'm going to make a little tray there, or some kind of little holster for it, and put it right there, and it's going to fit right in the right under the hump on the seat.